Okay, so now I'm going to start using the dark antique wax. This side I've not done yet. Thought I would show you guys how I'm doing it. Again, cheap chip brush. So basically it's gonna look bad. It's gonna look really bad at the beginning. What I would suggest is use a really light hand when you're doing this. That's kind of what I've experimented with and figured out to do. But basically you're just kind of brushing it on, and then you're going to be buffing it off and just kind of be quick about it and work in small areas until you kind of get a handle on how you really want it to look. And then you can always go back in and add places, and you can already see there's a pretty big difference. And you're gonna see that, you know, I don't leave it on there very long. The harder you rub, the more that's gonna come off. I'm just really light with it until I kind of get an idea of what I want it to look like. I don't really like it to look dirty. I just want that nice little antique feel to it. And I mean, if you want it harder, and this dries really quickly. Obviously the wetter the area, it's not going to dry as quick, but you can already see there's a difference. Definitely a difference. So what I like to do is I like to kind of go back in here, get the areas that I kind of want highlighted the most, and down this little line here. And it's okay if you get too much on, because you can always wipe back off what you don't want. So I don't want it to look too dirty, but I definitely want it to, you can see on this that I'm actually wiping quite a bit of it off, because I just don't really like the dirty look. Like more of a clean look, but just with a little bit of antiquing and glaze. Sorry, I'm recording with one hand and trying to do this with the other one, just to kind of show you guys how this is done. And you can see in this little area here, it was pretty dark. I just used my nail to get into kind of the groove. I just wanted to pick up some of it. I wanted to pick up a lot, but like I said, you can see a definite difference. I'm in the house, it's nighttime, my lighting, I have tons of lights everywhere on, but again, it's still not the greatest lighting, but you can definitely see a difference. So that's what I'm doing, is just kind of going around and getting a feel for it. And I'll show you up here on this. It's gonna look really dirty, and kind of get into this line. And it doesn't really matter. There's no special technique that I'm using. It's actually pretty simple, pretty easy. And this is basically the same thing I would have done if I'd have glazed it with a stain or an actual glaze. This is exactly how I would have done it. There wouldn't have really been any difference in that. It's basically put it on, get it the way you want it, and see how that looks dirty. I don't like that. So I'll go back in and I'll get some of these cleaned up a bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and wipe quite a bit of this back off because I just want it to pick up some of the grooves, but not a big, like, looks like I just didn't clean it type thing. That's not kind of the look I'm going for. So this is, and you can see down here, I kind of got there and I'm not really ready to work there. So I'm going to take and wipe the biggest portion of that off. And anywhere you don't want it, you have some time to work with this if you're working in small areas. Now, if I was to put this all over this and then try to go back and wipe this off, that probably wouldn't be the case. It wouldn't be nearly as easy. So what I like to do is just barely tap the brush. Just, there's hardly anything on it. And just kind of sweep back over it really quickly. And just kind of work it in. Now the only thing I could see being a problem is starting this and having to go somewhere. That obviously could be a problem. You can lighten, darken areas as you go. If you see something you don't like, fix it. That's really it. It's pretty easy. You can see down here, I'm actually going to take and use quite a bit. Make it look pretty dirty. Kind of push your brush in there into those little spots up in the edge. Basically where you would expect dust to kind of gather is basically where you're trying to get this to go, in all the little grooves. Like I said, this is going to look kind of bad, but just keep brushing. And the other thing is you know, like, see how I kind of left that spot there? You can kind of go back lightly over it. You don't have to do like anything major with it. I'm just working on one side at a time. I'm not going all crazy and getting all the way to the top or anything like that. And honestly, the top of the table makes me nervous. So it's probably going to take me a minute to figure what I'm doing with that out. And I'm just kind of going back in again, wiping what I don't like off. And you can always go back and add more. So less is more for me. And that's all you're really going to be doing. It's pretty simple. I will say I think that it's Behr's all chalk paint is overpriced for what it is. I don't think it's that great of coverage to where it would make me this be my go-to paint whenever I'm doing any kind of a project. And I paint a lot, and one of the main reasons of why I tried this product was because I plan to take and repaint a bed that is the same age as this furniture. I plan on redoing that, and I wanted to try this product out to see if I liked it. So my thought is that I will more than likely use the wax again, because there's a ton of it. I'm not sure that I would use the chalk paint again, just because the coverage really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Everything I'd read on chalk paint is that it covers really well. A lot of people like it for that reason. I just didn't really find that with this particular brand. It may just be this brand that is the problem. I don't know. Now, the wax, I really do like the wax. I like the way it looks. It's cleaner to work with than glaze. If you look at my hands, I've been using this towel. It's actually not even a towel. It is a piece of my husband's old t-shirt. And you can see my hand's not all stained up. This would have been glazed. My hands would have been a mess. And I have to work tomorrow, so that would have been a problem. Okay, that's what I've gotten so far, and you can kind of see this part's got glaze on it, this part doesn't, this part doesn't, this part doesn't. You can definitely see a pretty big difference. And you can see this side, I've not gotten to it either. I'm liking the way it's turning out. I'm not sure my husband will, but that's okay. All right.